All right, hello and welcome. How's everyone doing on what I hope is a fantastic September 30th, the last day of September? Jeff, how are you doing tonight?
I think I'm experiencing a tachyon surge.
Oh, yeah?
What was that?
Strange, timey-wimey stuff, maybe.
I guess so. Thomas says Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. How's everyone doing? That's what the rest of the shirt says, by the way. See?
Yeah, filthy animal.
I'm not just being rude.
Well, that is kind of rude, isn't it?
It is. It is. But it's not
okay.
just rude. It's a quote as well.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Joel, are we watching Die Hard today? No, we're watching part 2 of War Without End today. Part 2. Josh is claiming there's no sound. I'm mostly confident he's lying.
Well, I can hear you.
But only
I can hear
only
you.
mostly confident.
But only well, there is always a slight chance. Hey, Rock Solid.
Hey, how you doing, Gary?
Haven't seen you in forever.
Yeah, and nice try, everyone in the chat. I just unmuted the stream. I can hear me. It only mostly completely got me. Very nice.
Anna says that she can hear us loud and clear. I love you, sweetie.
Yeah, nice try. Nice try. Are you kind of
Thomas,
rude? No, never, Rock Solid.
Although she is saying that I lost my mind, and Thomas is agreeing with her, so...
And Gary, you know, I was just thinking the other day how much I would love to see a top 10 worst NES games from you. Or, you know, just some fun, like what's your favorite NES games, your least favorite ones, or, what's that system that had Bonk's Revenge on it? The Neo Geo? I haven't gotten to play that one much, but I'm pretty sure I remember you telling me you had a Neo Geo. And I'd love to see some fun lists like that. It's been a while since I've seen fun lists like that. All I see is AI slop these days when it comes to lists.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of that.
It's true. Bird of Prey 5 did used to mute himself all the time. And I actually was kind of sad today. It's been a while since... You remember Wordle, right?
Yes.
So
I still play it.
Yeah, Bird of Prey 5 had a Wordle.
Birdle? Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
And I love doing the Birdles, and I pulled it up today, and the site no longer works.
Well, it's weird because I play Wordle with a couple of other people, including Mama Prey. And it still works for a couple of them. But they're in Europe. They're in Europe.
On Bird of Prey 5?
Yeah, they play Birdle. We would play both Wordle and Birdle. And those that are in Europe can still play Birdle. But Mama Prey and I can't play Birdle.
How bizarre.
Supposedly, they're looking into it.
Okay.
The site should still be there. The IP is paid for. The storage space is paid for. They still have the what you call it?
The domain registration, all that stuff.
Yeah, they have that until January.
Okay. See, I thought that enough time had passed, and they decided just to let the site go. Maybe they didn't have the passwords to log into it anymore.
LDG is supposedly looking into it, but it's been like a week and a half.
Okay.
So, I don't know.
And yeah, Gary, that's what I saw today, that birdofprey5.com is down, but apparently not in Europe. So maybe I just need to fire up a VPN. That's why today is sponsored by NordVPN.
I tried my VPN and went to a European server, and it still didn't work for me, but I don't know. Yosef can play it. Do you remember Yosef?
Yeah.
Yeah, he can play it.
Wow, it's been a minute since I've seen Yosef. I think he has a less little one, but a little one.
I think she's maybe 3 now.
I think so.
Something like that.
And yeah, once Prometheus gets done, the LGG can work on it.
Okay, well, we'll be waiting longer than waiting for you to finish Babylon 5, I think.
Or Nomad.
Or Nomad, yeah. Less said about Nomad, the better, I guess.
I will forever, well, I say forever, hopefully not forever. I keep this in front of me as a constant rebuke on my desk. This is a piece that goes to Nomad, and it's sitting there staring at me going, Matthew, there is something you're supposed to do. Uh-oh, and I think I just lost the leader. Hold up. You're not supposed to be playing yet. We got like another half hour to go before that, I think.
Oh, I know, at least. Probably 35, 40 minutes.
Yeah. And Mercer, Bird of Prey 5, I don't know how he pulled this off. But he, on his website, was able to do a Wordle that he hosted himself. It was like a self-hosted Wordle that he called Birdle.
Well, supposedly you can do that. It's legal to do that.
That's awesome. I just don't know how to. He was incredibly smart.
I don't know how. Oh, yeah. Joe was, he was the bomb. Couldn't play video games worth anything, but...
He could play them. He just couldn't fly.
Well, he couldn't. He always crashed, and he got killed right away in the first-person shooters, and But that was Bird. So,
Roxol is saying, "Where's the new Voyager episode?" Lo siento, señor, no hablo de inglés.
I don't buy that. I'm not buying that at all.
Okay, yo hablo inglés pequeño. No, okay, so on Saturday, I went out for a bike ride. I enjoy, you guys know, I enjoy biking. On Saturdays, I get to do a little bit longer one. I mean, it's not super long, but it's longer than my usual ones. And so I come up to a highway, and this poor guy is stalled out in the turn lane. And so it's a quiet intersection on a Saturday, so not doubly quiet. And so I decide, like, okay, I know I look ridiculous. I'm in my biking outfit. I got these shoes that click in. So I'm like, it sounds like high heels whenever I walk, except it's on the front of the foot because it clicks into the bike. And so I come click over to this guy, and then, someone else pulls up, thankfully, because I'm like, maybe he needs a push into a driveway sort of thing. Like there's one 30 yards down the road, maybe. So we can get pushed up there. Another guy comes up, and he starts talking to him, and they're speaking Spanish. And I don't speak Spanish, but I understand. Like I took several years of it in high school, and so I understand a fair amount of it, but I don't like speaking it because I get embarrassed because I know my pronunciation is just horrendous, and I know I'm not getting grammar rules right.
You know more than I do.
Maybe. And so you should pray for the guy, Matthew, to help. You do. Okay, Joel, yeah, I did, but like that's just me being silly. I don't actually like talking to someone who legitimately speaks Spanish because I know it's just the worst. And I can, like, whenever they're talking, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember these words. But whenever I'm trying to think of the words myself, like, I can barely handle English. And yeah, me and my biking shorts, appropriate response. This is why on all my biking streams, I stayed securely behind the camera. Thank you. And so the two of them are talking, and he's trying to ask him if he knows how these jumper cables work. And bless the guy's heart, he didn't. And so the guy's trying to explain it to him. Like, he's behind him at this point. So he's going to pull around, and the guy's battery was on the right side, in this car. He had like a RAV4 or something. So it was in the right spot so he could pull up and use his jumper cables to give him a quick jump. And the third guy comes up and he's able to get in the right position real quick. And the most amazing thing to me is that no one paid attention to the fact that these people had their emergency lights on. They kept trying to queue up behind the car with its hood up, its flashers going, obviously having a problem. And so finally, I'm standing there on the side. I'm still sticking around, like maybe this guy needs a push. And I start having to direct traffic because they noticed a guy in, as Rock Solid put it, spandex biker shorts and a white sun shirt, a lot more readily than they noticed flashers for some reason. Their emergency lights.
No comment.
No comment. And so the guy got a jump, and it's one of those things where I'm like, this guy, if his car stalled out, just because he stopped at a stoplight, he doesn't just have a bad battery. There's other electrical issues going on here. Like he probably has a bad alternator or something. So I doubt very much that he was going to get to his destination, but he was like, no, everything's fine. I'm going to make it. I'm like, okay, well, drive safe. Zip and fasten or fasten and zip. And I'm sorry, Positive. I do not have a beer to give you.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Nor do I have a chalupa. Sorry, Gary.
No alcohol, no virtual alcohol either, huh? No virtual pub.
That's right. Unless I end up being wrong about the techno mages.
Ah, okay. Still can't believe you took that bad.
I mean, I'm going to stand behind my prediction.
Okay.
Yeah, they're just freaked out. That's why they kept swerving. As soon as they saw me dressed that way, they're like, oh, we got to get away from this guy.
And remember, folks, I actually met him.
That's true.
In person.
Not wearing my biker stuff.
No, he was not wearing his biker stuff.
I dressed normally, thankfully, for everyone. Gary, I am not a millennial, thank you. Silver Fox, I will take. Millennial, I reject. I'm a zennial. With the heart of a boomer.
I don't even know what I am. I never keep track of that.
You're either zennial or X. I think you might be at the very end of X.
71.
Yeah, you're an X.
Okay.
Yeah, I was born after 1980 in the micro generation, which is called a zennial. We have the core memories of Xers, but we grew up with technology like millennials. Zennial. That's right. I exist between the candle and the star. I'm gray.
A good one, Hoot Owl.
And hey, I did rewatch part 1.
Oh, okay. I figured you would. And
I have to say, I am impressed, pat myself on the back here, with how much I actually followed. There are very few lines that I actually didn't catch. There's nothing where I'm like, oh wow, okay. I don't remember this at all. Look it up, Gary. It's zennial. I'll pull this up right now, son.
I did not go back and watch part 1. Although I did watch it twice last week. One before the stream and then during our stream. Now, I've already watched part 2 twice this week.
Must have been a really boring episode, I guess. Nothing major happens in it.
Yeah, no, you're probably gonna fall asleep. Spoilers.
I'm not picking my generation. Look it up. Zennial's a thing. It's on Wikipedia. That makes it official.
Oh yeah, okay. You're talking to a librarian here. If you get it off of Wikipedia, you need backup sources for sure.
So I committed a cardinal sin today.
Uh-oh.
I updated OBS right before the stream started.
Oh, I did that Saturday before Jep Nerdy. It was fine.
Well, so almost everything is fine with one exception, and that is my Stream Deck isn't working.
Huh.
Yeah.
Have you tried unplugging it and plugging it back in?
I haven't.
Just be careful with the other wires because you might mess up your audio.
There's some truth to that.
Well, we saw it happen live on stream, so just after you went to your laptop setup.
I'm reticent to mess with it. The issue is on my Stream Deck, I have the ability to pause and reset the slideshow because it starts as soon as OBS opens. So it's over there just chugging away. And I don't see the controls for stopping and resetting it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Whoopsie-doo.
Well, it's been a while since you've had a major kerfuffle on air, so... there's Omni. Welcome, Omni.
Hey, Omni, how you doing? Yes, this is the way. I do... Ugh, it wants me to close OBS Studio to do a Stream Deck update. That's not happening. That's not happening at all. Well, we're going to roll with it.
Omni's in the Paramount limo. Headed home.
Oh, yeah, they let you stick around because you keep shilling out for SNW?
Yeah, and all the other lovely content that comes from Paramount.
What?
Being facetious.
Positive Candor is saying I should get an article of impeachment for making up my own generation. It's on Wikipedia. It's a known thing.
I have to admit, I had not heard that one.
It's because you're not a Zennial. Zennial is 100% something that all of us people in this age range said, no, we are not a part. We're not, they're not with us, okay? We are not the same. We refuse to be associated with these people.
Thomas, too much bunny radiation. Feel bad for you, sir. It says #quality entertainment, referring to Paramount.
Saying on Wikipedia should carry additional criminal charges. Okay.
Wow.
So there's I feel like AI has become this generation's Wikipedia. Like the same way we were like, oh, well, you know, we got the information off Wikipedia and everyone was, well, that's not legitimate. I feel like AI has become the new Wikipedia. Where everyone goes there and they get information because the information tends to be accurate-ish. But like it doesn't count. I say ish because like you have to get these clankers to give you the source. Because otherwise, it'll grab stuff off like Reddit and Stack Overflow. And sure,
oh yeah,
often that can be accurate-ish. but it's still not a source of scholarly information.
No. No.
Yeah.
Have to be very
so
careful with that information.
I've actually had to like give a global command whenever I use ChatGPT that, hey, only give me information from peer research papers. Do not use Reddit unless there's no information. And if there's no information, you have to tell me that this comes from Reddit and then give me the source for it so I can look at it myself.
That's smart.
And once you do that, and you'll also have to say things like, don't give me the consensus value or consensus on any subject. I want you to, what's the wording? I want you to look at the research and draw only scientific conclusions based on research and known scientific principles. Because when you do consensus conclusions, like if the consensus is 2 and 2 is 5, then Wikipedia or ChatGPT or Grok or whatever would tell you like, oh, well, 2 and 2 is 5, even though that doesn't follow proper mathematical theorems. And Mercy, yeah, I mean, most of Wikipedia is accurate, but, and there's a big caveat here. At one point, Wikipedia was a place where people did band together from all sides and try to create accurate information. And so you'd have left and right-wing people coming together to create stuff, and they'd source it and cite it. And, you know, there'd be a lot of arguing in the background. But at the end, you would have here is information from both sides, here's the sources. If someone came in there and they're like, hey, I think that, Hillary Clinton is a lizard person, and my source is this guy on the street named Jim, and Jim he told me about it. And they're like, hey, this is not a credible source of information. And nowadays it has really become just overwhelmingly biased in one political direction. And so your ability to get a more nuanced answer out of Wikipedia has become severely hindered. And what I mean by that is they've actually taken away a lot of the back end discussion, where before say, here's the information for this view, here's the information for that view, and you'd get a pretty balanced look at it. Now it's here's all the information for this view, and they might include some stuff for the other side, but what they choose to present is like the straw man arguments to make the one side look absolutely ridiculous. And so it's, unfortunately, it's become more reputable, but in a less reputable way.
That's funny.
Like it is, but like you kind of get what I mean.
Talk about your oxymoron.
It is, but like nowadays I would mostly trust Wikipedia in the sense of I could go there, get information, and then go to the source information, like go to a citation and be like, oh, hey, this is a good way to get my citations so I can actually get the real stuff that I could use on paper. It's kind of like a cliff. Remember the For Dummies books? It was a For Dummies site.
They're still around. Positive is saying there's a new article of impeachment on the Discord. Article 913 for making up his own generation on B5 stream of all places.
I didn't make it up. It's on Wikipedia.
What can I tell you? He probably put the article up there.
Joel is saying she's an alien lizard to be more accurate. Yeah, exactly.
We're in dangerous territory here, I think, Matthew.
It's true. Where's my
watch your back?
Hat? As long as they don't like start pointing out stuff that maybe she did or didn't do in the past, or her husband, I'm safe.
Okay. I hope so.
Mercer's saying that he used to have a book called Juggling for the Complete Klutz. It came with the beanbags for juggling. Okay. Did I miss part of a conversation? Am I the klutz? I might be the klutz.
I'm not sure how he made that jump. And hello, wizards don't wear pants.
How you doing tonight? Well, I might be running a little bit early, but
I was going to say,
how about we start talking some episode stuff?
Okay. Yeah, we could do that.
Do you remember? So I did have some general predictions that I made 2 weeks ago for part 1 and 2, but after part 1, I decided to cheat. We decided it was cheating. Refine. I decided to refine my predictions.
You're refining your cheat.
I enhanced my predictions. I said, hey, you know what? I'm still sticking to everything I said, but I'm going to add more detail now. I got more granular for part 2.
Okay.
Ish.
Well, I do have that. And you went on quite a while about this. You did. So this will be kind of lengthy. Maybe we'll fill in that 15 minutes. I don't know. But you said this will be a classic dual timeline trope where the events of the past are happening simultaneously to the events of the present. As the events of the past happen, it is affecting what you are seeing in the timeline. We will see our Babylon 5 in the here and now being attacked by the shadow spiders. The thing that brings us victory ultimately is what the White Star in the past does to weaken the shadow spiders. Otherwise, B5 would be destroyed. That's where we'll see this war without end happening. What's Mercer saying? How many times did Marty die in Back to the Future 2? I don't know. You tell me. We won't see the war 1,000 years ago, which was alluded to in part 1. However, based upon what they are doing 6 years ago, we are going to see them trying to set this device up on Babylon 4. They're going to fail, or they're going to have a moment where they lose the device. As the device is lost in the present 2260, all of a sudden Babylon 5 gets attacked. So you have them trying to rectify the mistake, and as they rectify it, things go back to the good timeline. Meanwhile, you have what's going on with Sheridan. He ends up doing a little bit of time hopping in which he sees key events that his knowledge of what's going on will allow him to make a better future. We already see that he wins the war with the Shadow Spiders, but he failed to clean up after them. And because he failed to do that, the allies of the Shadow Spiders attack Centauri Prime. He's going to be able to use that knowledge to do the cleanup work and protect Centauri Prime. This will get the Centauri on his side in the long term. He will see the prophecy in the opposite direction, where Rolando gets 3 chances to change his future. Instead, he sees what the future is, and he knows that he needs to change that future. And to change it, here are 3 things that he must do. And it would be really cool if it was 3. You said it could be 3, but it would be really cool if it is 3.
All right. Hey, if
does that sound
able
accurate?
To follow that, yes, it sounds accurate.
Okay.
So, I mean, the long and short here is I look forward to the episode tonight. And I think that we're going to get a lot of fun time travel stuff. And as Mercer was pointing out, it's kind of like in Back to the Future, where he got into the bad timeline, where his parents didn't get together, and he started to fade from existence. And you saw his siblings going first, because that, of course they did. We wouldn't have the movie if Marty went first. So we're going to get that sort of thing going on here, where they lose the device, and you start to see the ramifications of that happening with Garibaldi. And once they fix it, the photo comes back, everyone's happy.
Classic Back to the Future.
And they're saying that Positive's saying he died twice in Back to the Future. So on Biff's casino rooftop, he jumps from the roof to avoid Biff, believing he's going to fall to his death, but sees the DeLorean hovering in place to save him.
So he didn't really die there, did he?
I don't think so. And
Thomas says, in Valen's name, start already.
And in alternate 1985, he's about to run over by Biff, but Doc Brown appears to rescue him at the last moment. So are you saying that he died and Doc went back in time to change that reality?
Ah.
I hadn't heard this theory before.
Mercer brought that up a couple weeks ago. I don't buy it myself, but I can see where people might believe that.
I think that is a fun take on it. I've never heard that take on it, though.
Well, especially the first one, Doc knew that Marty was going to the casino. So he probably went behind Marty just to make sure things didn't go south on him. And Marty did go up the stairs purposely. He changed stairwells and went up the stairs. And when he got to the top, he looked over the edge and kind of, was disappointed because maybe Doc hadn't gotten there yet. So it might have been the plan altogether that he went up the stairs and Doc would meet him at the top of the building.
I'm trying real quick to pull up. I swear that the video player option used to have the controls on it. I wonder if this is something they literally got rid of in this one. That'd be crazy.
It would be crazy.
Let's just see. Oh. Maybe what I need to do is come hither. And will that work? Wait for it. Okay, there we go. Okay. I got it.
Success.
Yes.
Babylon 5 saved.
The problem was, you don't care. I fixed the problem. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I do think that's a fun idea. I'm not sure if it was really holds up to scrutiny, but I like overthinking movies, and I think that's a fun twist on it. So let's go ahead and jump into this. For anyone who is here for the very first time, hello, welcome. So glad you're with us. If this is your first time, I need to warn you that I'm going to be doing a lot of talking, because that's how these streams go. If you're hoping just to be able to watch Babylon 5, this episode all by itself without anything, sorry, that's not what it is. But hey, I got good news for you. I'm going to tell you where you can get it for free right now legally. You can go to Tubi TV, and you can go to Roku. Yeah. And the Tubi TV one, you don't even have to have an account. You just go there and you can watch it for free with ads. Just like the old days. You turn it on. Hey, it's on your TV. It's broadcasting on whatever channel it broadcasted on back then. I don't know. NBC, Paramount, something like that.
It was syndicated. Syndicated. It was on whatever station bought it.
And then you had to watch the commercials. Yeah, or you can get what Jill mentioned, but I'm not mentioning. I'm just saying, like, hey, there's legal ways of doing it.
Well, you're right, Omni. It was on PTEN, Primetime Entertainment Network, but it was basically syndicated.
Huh.
And then it went to TNT for season 5. And then the Sci-Fi Channel aired reruns, and then they produced this
right there, and that is
The Legend of the Rangers.
Oh, I thought you were going to hold up your Blu-rays. That's going to be the thing. Get the Blu-rays. So if this is my favorite way of watching it, just have the physical media. Back it up to your computer. You can get on Amazon for like $70, $80 most weeks. And it's all 5 seasons, not the movies. That's something different. But it's all 5 seasons, and you'll have it forever, and you never have to worry about which streaming service has it today, and what thing do I have to sign up for, and are there ads or not ads? I don't know.
That doesn't work too well on the green screen. That's most of the movies. Only
right.
available on DVD.
Yeah, it's not Lord of the Rings. Sorry. Excellent series, but nope, not Lord of the Rings. But right now, this is going to be the very first time that I watch this episode. I know absolutely nothing about it. I've made some wonderful predictions, as Jeff went over, that are undoubtedly 100% accurate with no error. Because I always get these 100% accurate with no error.
It's like the Omni F. It works 100% of the time, 50% of the time.
Yeah.
So there you go.
So I'm going to be giving my live reactions to this stream. If you can, join us right now in the streaming room. There's a link up in the chat area pinned from Jeff. And this just lets all of us watch our streaming within a second or two of each other. It syncs up our watch times. If you're here in the future, it won't work. It's not available. Go to one of the other things we already mentioned. If you're here and you can't open up the streaming room right now, you're at work or something, you can only be watching on your phone, we got you more or less covered. There's going to be a slideshow, which absolutely 100% works right below here. And once every 7-9 seconds, something like that, it's going to show a still image, no sound, of what's going on, so that whenever I'm actually talking about the show and not being sidetracked by something the show said that made me go, oh wow, that's such an amazing concept, let's talk about this. Well, you know, there's the thing. So, with all that said, let's do a quick 3 countdown so that if you're here in the future and you want to sync up your watch time to our watch time, you can be prepared. So 3, 2, 1, hit that play button, everyone. And absolutely let me know if you hear any audio, because I did update OBS just a second ago, and, you know, not always the best choice. Yeah, I do have my squirrel moments like every 5 minutes. So at the end of part 1, Sheridan got unstuck from time. And he has found himself in the future where Londo is now emperor. And things did not go well for Londo. I mean, he's emperor, so things went a little well. But for the Centauri people, things did not go well. They say that, yes, you beat the shadow spiders, but you didn't clean up behind them. And their allies came to Centauri Prime, and they just completely decimated it. And Londo's mad about this.
So that's 17 years in the future.
So, and they mentioned, I remember this word, they mentioned that he won his crusades. That's a follow-up series to Babylon 5. But he's going to hold, Londo's going to hold Sheridan responsible for the damage. Which I did find an interesting kind of abdication of responsibility of Londo's part. He's not, like, the real reason the Allies went after the Centauri people is because Centauri allied themselves with the Shadow Spiders first. And Marcus, he senses that these people are coming and he just ducks out. He doesn't help Ivanova at all. And he leaves Ivanova to get captured by
oh no.
Well, I say captured. He'll probably pop out around the corner and knock them out in a second here. Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Strider.
Strider,
I did.
Yes, of course. Strider.
Did I skip there previously? Not on purpose. Mine didn't have that.
Okay. The Blu-ray does have it.
Yeah, it must not be on the Amazon copy. I don't think so. And that is one of my limits. As much as I talk about how I love the Blu-ray, I initially bought the digital because I'm like, oh, this is convenient. And there's just a couple differences. Yeah, Josh, I forget the names of the characters I renamed.
True.
And it's funny, if you're new here, someone actually got really upset at me. Like, they thought I was only getting the girl names wrong. Because in that episode, that just so happened to be the only names that I've messed up in the past. And so they thought I was somehow being, like, they thought this was some sort of sexist thing. And, like, I'm not sure what my motivation would be to get the girl's name wrong to be sexist.
You just get names wrong.
Yeah, but I just get names wrong. And once I get it wrong, I keep it wrong to poke fun at myself. And I'm not sure how Strider was hiding in plain sight, but he's just that good.
He is. Well, on the other hand...
So Strider was saying that he doesn't believe in luck, and he leans back and he knocks off a panel that just so happens to be hiding the very thing they need at this moment.
Ooh.
And one of the funny lines from last week, Zastros, they say, hey, Zastros, can you get the equipment and bring it up here? And he goes, yes, I'm used to being a beast of burden. It's not been a very good life, but I won't have a very good death, so there will be symmetry. And then we see Sheridan phasing a little bit. Oh, interesting. Deja vu? So as soon as Ivanova disconnected something, Dolores shudders as if someone walked over her grave, she says. And so I'm not sure if it's because of what Ivanova did that she's reacting to, or if it's what's happening over here. And it might... I think it's supposed to be with this. I think it was just the way they shot it made it seem a little awkward. So they're in the future, 17 years. And for some reason, she's here on Centauri Prime as well. Maybe in captivity, maybe just doing her ambassador stuff. I'm assuming captivity. Their son is safe.
Their son is safe, yes.
Whoa.
Oh, they're kissing. That's Sheridan's first kiss with her.
Udall's saying, Zathras dropped case of anchors, so Zathras break anchors. Or anchor was already broken. Zathras not know. And so we got a coolant leak in engineering, and everyone needs to get out.
That's true, Joel. That's not her first kiss with him.
Not her first kiss with...
Obviously, if they have a son.
From her perspective, yes. Did I not listen? Londo said he was going to let them meet for the last time. I heard him say that it was going to be the last time, but I missed the noun of it being Dolores. Thank you, now. Yes, everyone's age to not being millennials.
Thomas, that's not Geordie. He said roll under the door.
Well, there's a coolant leak. You got to roll under the door.
But it's not Geordie.
And so she's saying that he's told her about his time hopping. I think that's what she's trying to say, but she never really believed it. But now as she looks into his eyes, she doesn't see all the pain and grief that he's accumulated over the years. that she sees the innocence that he once had, and so she finally believes him. Ooh, the war is never the war is never completely won, she says. But things change. And that they achieved everything they set out to achieve, but the war doesn't end. But she said there's a terrible, terrible price. What's the price? Dolores, this is super important. What was the price? And so she's saying that the future they're in can only be changed by surrendering to the shadows, and that cannot happen. And that sounded a little like Morden, maybe? It was some guy in the shadows.
Ha ha. Shadows.
It probably wasn't. Probably just a random Centauri Guard person, but
it was not Morden. Or Cheap Rod Sterling, as we call him.
Yeah, I mean, just a guard, I think.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Quiet, Matthew. Thomas, I'm not going to be quiet.
Do you know Matthew, Thomas? This is important.
So Londo is saying that he's had considerable amount to drink. It's the only way that he can be alone. He doesn't want to wake it. And he's saying that we all have our keepers. So I'm assuming that he has a shadow spider the way that Morden does.
Well, these are allies of the shadows.
True. Oh. So
the only way to see it is when it's asleep.
So it can't hold its liquor, he says. And he's saying that it's the only, that whenever this thing is asleep, it's the only time that he's himself again. Oh yeah, I saw it was on Londo's shoulder, all right.
His keeper.
And Londo's saying that his life is almost over, his world and all he hoped for is almost gone. And he's saying that you two are my last chance. Prophecy going on? He's saying there's a ship hidden behind the palace, and his guard will take him there. And he's saying, in exchange for your life, all I'm asking is that you and your allies help to free my people. he's saying, "Go now, quickly. You don't have much time. I can feel it beginning to wake up." And they really need to get a move on here. So Londo, in the end, bit of redemption. Oh!
His old friend. Called him his old friend.
Slightly different from what he saw in the past. And he's saying that at any second, his keeper will awake and alert the others. And they do not take betrayal lightly. I swear that previous time we saw this, Jakar's eye patch wasn't like this. But I'm probably wrong, because JMS is pretty knocking it out of the park here.
That was also a dream, so a dream could be somewhat inaccurate. Oh.
And the keeper wakes up. Yeah, it was a dream. I do remember this. They're gonna die with their hands around each other's throats.
Hmm.
And she's warning him, do not go to Zahadum. Do you understand? Do not go to Zahadum. Is Londo gonna wake up here? No?
Oh.
She tells him to treasure every moment in the past. Is it gonna be Veer? Or Morden? We got Veer!
It's like in the vision, as Omni said.
Long live Emperor Veer. Yeah, when does Sheridan ever do as he's told?
Hmm.
So he's saying he has an idea about how he might be able to he's going to be able to stabilize Sheridan appearing there. And here he comes. Yep, becomes Emperor after the other dies. Now, I also remember in the Babylon Squared episode, Sinclair was wearing an outfit like that, I want to say.
He was.
Now, I think we'll see what happens. But I want to say that Zathras was just saying that it was only going to be temporary. Oh, hey, and there's Sinclair.
There's his blue suit.
I thought he might kiss her for a second. Tom is saying, why do they have imperial ranks on their left arms? I do remember that guy.
He's leading the team, getting B4 ready for its mission. Ooh.
Dun dun dun. There goes B4 into the future.
Yes, Omni, he's a major. You're right.
We're probably going to go 4 years into B4's future, 2 years into our past. And someone just blinked out of existence. Probably Sheridan. And yeah, the time device activated premature. He's doing a great job of the timelines converging here. Yep, cue the season 1 films.
Yep. Oh, he's gone.
And I bet you better come look at this cliche. Now, I remember in season 1, they were going a little bit crazy. Something about things in time and visions. Like this, maybe.
Speaking of visions.
Visions, you say? Yes, Omni. Right on cue, apparently.
Yeah.
See, I keep thinking I'm going to get them like, ooh, I caught you. You forgot what you're doing. And no, I got this. JMS is over there laughing. Nope, I remember.
JMS was almost perfect in this. Who is that?
Could it have been their son? It was either the voice of a young child boy or a girl. I'm not sure who. Huh. So Sinclair is aging rapidly.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying that because they were already in this time zone, even though he's partially protected, coming back across his own time stream is causing him to age rapidly. And text is saying, remember, it was 2 hours to get there from Babylon 5, so it was probably at least half a day before the rescue team came. Yeah, so maybe a half day from this moment until B5 actually shows up for everyone to start going crazy.
Yes, Omni. Sinclair in charge again.
Zathra says, not run out of time, there's infinite time. Zathras is finite, and this is wrong tool.
Never use this.
Oh, and that's true. The first time they sent anyone around was the guy who aged rapidly.
Yes. He was dead when his Star Fury got back to the Babylon 5. Love the music. Love the music. Right from season 1.
It was kind of like it had the undertones of the theme song in it, just more, more as a war beat. Zathras getting arrested.
Now, that is a bit of a discontinuity with the Babylon Squared episode. They said that he appeared in a flash in the conference room.
And
the explanation JMS gave for this is there was already so much in this episode that he couldn't fit it in. It would have been 3 pages worth of material.
I mean, I guess if a quick and dirty way to do it would have been if everyone was already starting to had those vision flashes, and so maybe they had a vision flash right as they were coming in there, and then saw Zathras and assumed.
I agree, Omni. It's excusable. It is excusable.
Yeah,
because it's almost perfect.
I mean, still an error, but yeah. And this is something I've talked about, that I am more willing to give classic sci-fi shows a pass because they put in so much effort to get things right. So I'm like, okay, yeah, there's a plot hole, but I'll give you a little pass. But yeah, not the one. Can't talk, won't talk.
And this is straight from Babylon Squared. They lifted it right from the episode. It was not refilmed.
Oh, good. But with modern sci-fi shows, I'm less willing to cover up those plot holes for them, because it's like every episode, all episode long, it's just plot hole after plot hole after plot hole. And like, if you guys are going to rely on me to make up all the reasons for why this isn't a plot hole, I'm not going to do the heavy lifting for you.
Again, this is straight from Babylon Squared.
Now, this is wrong plot hole. Never use this. So I haven't seen my secondary plot line with Garibaldi happening yet, but we still have like 15 minutes, so There's a chance I could be right.
Uh,
He's saying it's the one, which means it should be Sinclair. But at this point now, I'm like, well, Sheridan's the one who's been displaced in time. Surely this is Sheridan.
apparently they did, Thomas. They did see him before.
We didn't see it on screen, but clearly they did.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think. Oh, did I think? I did think the White Star was going to be damaged, but not the damage I was saying is probably going to happen in season 5. And so Sheridan's back, and he's saying, I don't have any memory of what just happened.
Again, this is from Babylon Squared.
And Sheridan was saying, this isn't mine. Mine was damaged. He says, someone must have swapped them out, but whose is it?
Not only that, but they took his suit.
Yeah. And so there's Sinclair in his suit. The present Sinclair from our timeline perspective.
Yes.
And
Watch
so
your back.
we've heard that before.
Yes. Omni, I presume he would have said more if he got through, which he didn't.
So he's saying Zathras knew you would not leave him. Zathras trusts the one. And under the helmet is Dolores.
Dolores.
Me as Kiefer. And then we're catching back up. And there's Sinclair, and he gives his message again. I tried to warn them. I tried to tell them, but it happened all exactly the way I remembered. Which I had presumed we saw that in the future. But no, it was the 2 years ago in the past that just happened. After Dolores got out of her blue suit. And Strider is putting it together. He's saying this system isn't automatic. Someone has to ride this thing into the past. And whoever goes is a one-way trip. And Strider says, I'll do it. I'll take her back. And he says, Sinclair says, I'm going to be the one to take it back because I've already done it. And it was his handwriting that on all the letters. He's the one that went back in time, then wrote a letter to himself. The circle is complete. The closed circle. And he's saying that if I went back to our time, the aging effect would probably kill me. Isn't it better to choose life? And Zathras sees the oldest caretaker of the Great Machine. He's 110 years old, and he always knew that Delin was the one. Even Droll does not know yet.
He knows things that Droll doesn't know.
And he's saying that he knows each one of these three people. And all the Minbari is around 3. The 3 castes: worker, warrior, priests, religious.
Religious.
And he talks about there's the light, the dark, and the gray. The Gray Council was in 3s.
The one.
And all 3 of them are the one. And so Sinclair was one who was. Dolores is the one who is. And Sheridan is one who will be. You have the beginning, the middle, and Sheridan is going to be the end of the story. And Josh, I did assume that pink Vorlon was referring to Sinclair as a closed circle for the timey-wimey stuff.
Hashtag pink Vorlon, yes. First time I've heard of him referred to as a pink Vorlon, but okay.
Someone mentioned that last week.
Oh, okay. I missed it.
No, it wasn't me. I'm not that creative.
I don't know. You can be pretty creative.
Yeah, it was Omni who said it.
Hello there.
And hello, Emmy. How are you doing? If you're here on the stream. I did call him the new Kosh, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Thomas. So at some point, we're going to get to see Dolores going back and meeting up with this as well. She's got some timey-wimey shenanigans to do.
She does?
Yes. Because she was in a blue suit as well, and she met up with Sinclair.
I think you missed it. I mean,
What,
it wasn't actually shown, but you can imply it. She took Sheridan out of his suit and put it on herself and exchanged the time stabilizers.
huh. Okay.
So she was the one that was bouncing around at the end.
Hmm. He's Valen? So, for those only seeing the slides, Delenn was just saying that things were not great back then between the Vorlons or the Minbari and other people, and they would not accept a human's help. And so he's using the device that Dolores used to make herself more human. And they're doing a couple flashbacks about how Dolores was saying, "Oh, we were right to choose you." There was what was the
Soul
guy
Hunter.
with Soul Hunter saying they're using you? There was the general guy saying that you talk like a Minbari commander. And Josh is saying that Dolores said they found that device 1,000 years ago. The one that Dolores used to become more human. So her cousin's first uncle is her great-great-grandpa's nephew, third cousin's roommate. And there we go. He says that he is called Valen. They have much work
And
ahead of them.
2 pink Vorlons
Yeah.
out of their suits.
Very interesting.
Hmm.
Something suspicious about that, I still think.
In Sinclair's name. Yes, Thomas.
Interesting. So, Valen is Sinclair. And the reason he was able to have all these visions about the future, about the need for the Great Council to be broken, is because he was from the future and knew that this stuff would happen because he went to the past and prophesied that this stuff would happen.
Essentially, yes.
Ty's saying he's suspicious about what? Suspicious about them Vorlons. I just can't trust them completely. I've been working on this for a while here, this theory that they have been interfering with the development of lower races to push them toward their use in their war against the shadow people, the shadow spiders. And I kind of get the feeling that we're in an almost Cold War situation where you have Russia and America, and both of them are using the third world countries to fight their war and proxy battles. And so who's the good guy in this situation? Well, if you ask the Vietnamese, I don't think they would say America or Russia or overly good. One might be slightly more good, maybe. But from their perspective, it was just their own people dying. So I don't know. There's probably a better example than that one, but I don't entirely trust the Vorlons. Why are just the fact that they've gone back in time and set themselves up as our religious figures? It's just makes me suspicious of them. But that's future Matt's problem to suss out. Jeff, how did you like today's episode?
Oh, this was just mastery. JMS he blew it out of the water with this story. It's just amazing what he did, bringing back Babylon Squared into this story and fitting it in so well. There were very few issues trying to stitch it all together. It was just mastery. Brilliant story. Love it. You got Zathras, you got Valen, you've got the future with Londo and Jakar, and we see the end of their struggle with each other. You see Veer become presumably emperor now. We know that Sheridan and Dolores get together. They have a son. They drive off the shadows. They accomplish what they want to do. We learn about 1,000 years ago where Babylon 4 went and became the base of operations for the victory over the shadows then. And this all prevents the message that we see from 7 Days in the Future, Ivanova and her message about B5 blowing up, being destroyed. It looks like Garibaldi's future with the battle on the station doesn't happen.
Or does it?
Or does it? Well, it seems that it doesn't, because the station seems like it's not going to be attacked. They averted that because B4 was taken back, and that war was won then. Shadows came out of that war with less ships, and they won't have the ships necessary to blow up Babylon 5 and attack Babylon 5 like they do in the vision.
That's true.
That we saw of 7 Days in the Future. So that's averted. And that's why we didn't see Sinclair with Garibaldi in that battle in this episode.
Yeah, and
fantastic. This was just great. Great story. 8 days, excuse me.
And that was what I was thinking initially, that like, oh, it could still happen because it happens 8 days from now. But that wasn't the bad timeline. That when Babylon 4 didn't go to the past, the Shadow Spiders did have more people. And I listened to that line again where they talked about how if Babylon 4 doesn't go into the past, then the Vorlons are going to, or the Embari are going to lose the war, or at best reach a stalemate with the Shadow Spiders. And so that was the timeline we were seeing, where a stalemate had been reached, and now they're 1,000 years later pressing the attack, and because they only got to a stalemate position, they are immensely more powerful and just running ripshod through the universe.
Oh, that's a good point. Welcome, Retro Robot Radio. And the version of the pilot that we watched the original pilot, and the remastered one that TNT did, which they redid the effects, new music, and they put in a couple scenes that weren't in the original and took out a couple things. There was a scene added in the remaster where Kosh meets who he thinks is Sinclair. It's actually the Changeling. And he calls him by his name, Valen. So because we didn't see that, the Changeling net, it was actually Membari. Calls him Antlosaw. Yeah, he calls him Antlosaw.
I'm glad.
Didn't he call him Antlosaw Valen?
Like on this side, it'd be interesting to see that. But having never watched it before, that's almost too much of a spoil. I mean, assuming you remember it by the time Valen really starts getting mentioned a lot. Let's rewatch episode 1 now. I don't think so, Thomas.
Now, I watch or listen to 2 podcasts before we do our streams for each episode. And one of them is called Gray 17, the Gray 17 podcast. And
that's coming up soon.
Yeah, we have an episode called Gray 17 coming up, a couple episodes, but their podcast is called Gray 17 Podcast. And it's a bunch of people that have watched the show a lot, like me, and people that never saw it before, like you. And none of them, they did watch the remastered pilot, and none of them picked up on the Valen reference in the pilot.
Really?
When they got to this episode, none of them remembered it.
Huh. All right then. I guess it isn't that big. Like I just feel like if I had heard that, I mean, and like I said, I would have heard that, and then I feel like when they started talking about Valen, I would have been like, wait a minute. I've heard the name Valen before. I've heard this before. And I guess it would have gotten me more confused. Like, well, why is he calling him Valen? And this episode would have provided context for that. And I'd been like, oh, wow, that's why he's been doing it the whole time. I don't know. I'm glad. I'm glad we didn't get that. I'm glad they left it where it was.
Fair enough. You may want to go back and watch The Gathering in the remastered version.
If I want to learn what happens to Catherine, I just need to read the comic in Valen's name. Okay, Josh, how much of a spoiler is it for what I know at this moment? And that's one of the things. I don't think
there's any, really.
I've been deliberately trying to avoid any sort of Babylon 5 media outside the one episode I watch each week, or if I've seen an episode already, I might rewatch that. But in terms of additional media, comics, books, the movies, I'm not doing any of it until I get through the series, because we're past the halfway point at this point.
For B5, yeah. If we add in Crusade, we're not quite there.
So, outside the spoiler-filled video I posted myself, what spoiler-filled video did I post myself? I know now, Thomas. I don't think I've posted anything in a long time, so we both know that's not not true.
I think you posted an animated GIF that was kind of spoilerish.
Oh no! I know what he's talking about. In my recommended feed on YouTube videos, there was something about Babylon 5, and I posted it in Discord, and I said I haven't watched this, but it's an interesting title.
That okay. Eventually, we're going to be talking more about this kind of stuff.
Eventually.
I don't want to go into too much. I don't want to go into too much because I don't want to reveal anything, but yeah. Things could have been different. Let's just put it that way.
I do have to admit, I didn't do great on my enhanced predictions. And I'm not complaining. I think that they focused in on the most essential things that needed to be focused in on. I mean, maybe they could have done something where instead of reshooting whole scenes that we saw in season 1, we could have seen things moving into that scene, understood that scene was happening, and focus on something else. But it was kind of a moot point, because at the end, Sheridan kind of lost his memory. Or I feel like I might need to rewatch that, but to me, it seemed like they were setting it up where he didn't remember the things that Londo told him, or that he had a child, perhaps. So
maybe he's keeping it to himself so he doesn't spoil future.
Maybe.
Or change the future.
But see, he wants to change the future a little bit.
Okay. But he was told that he can't change it. Except for surrendering to the shadows.
Well, so there is a concept in books, media, what have you, called the unreliable narrator, where they believe they're giving an accurate story. They're not lying, but the amount of information they have is incomplete, so the information they are relaying ends up being incorrect. So I think that her belief, I think that she was being honest, that she believes that there's nothing they can do that would change it except surrender, but I think she's wrong. I think there's going to be some way to change the future. Because she made a point of saying, tell them to appreciate every moment, to treasure every moment. So even though and she said this specifically, they accomplished everything they set out to do. So even though they did that, it seems like everything is still horrendous. That the universe is in tatters. It doesn't seem like they really have a great victory here. It's a victory of sorts, but it doesn't seem like it's a great victory.
Well, time will tell. It always does.
It always does.
And we only really saw perspective from Centauri Prime.
It's true.
Which was pretty beat up.
They definitely appear to be
never really over.
It's true. It does seem like the Centauri people are a conquered race at this point. He talked about the
Very
Keeper.
Much.
And
we saw the Keeper on his shoulder.
Yeah. I mean, and you have to wonder, does Veer have his own Keeper? How dominated are the Centauri? So,
even though we got a lot of answers in this story, we have new questions.
We do.
And I think that's one of the masteries that JMS has. He doesn't wait around very long to answer questions, but he always answers them with new questions.
Yeah.
So he keeps it fresh. One of the problems with the X-Files, which I do love, the X-Files is a great show. It always went back to the same questions. It never really answered the central questions. You thought you got answers sometimes, but then really didn't. I don't know if you watched the X-Files or not.
I am familiar with it, but no, I never watched it.
Okay. Great series. I love the series. I got it on Blu-ray. But it does have that issue. Babylon 5 does not.
And Texas was saying kind of the same way that we won a great victory by beating the brown shirts, but then we almost immediately had to face the threat of communist Russia. And yeah, that's one of the fascinating things about history, that Russia was not an ally we super wanted. It's one that we had to have, but the reason why the Red Scare was such a big deal is that Russia post World War II was powerful and straight up scary. Like the atrocities they did to their own people made the brown shirts look not tame, but they're pretty on par. What the brown shirts did to other people, the Russians were doing to their own people. And it is only because we were so exhausted after World War II that we didn't go fight the Russians. That we went into this Cold War stalemate thing.
Yeah.
Hey, John, how you doing?
Welcome, John.
And,
So,
and I can see that kind of happening in what we saw in Babylon 5, that they beat the big threat, and there's lots of these other threats out there, but they don't have the emotional fortitude to continue the war. Everyone just wants to stop. And as a result, there's some people that are suffering.
oh, don't forget, they also have the war with Earth, or the conflict with Earth. They've also got the Psychic Friends Network to deal with. Oh, telepaths. Psychor.
Jeff, I think I missed that comment.
That's a lie, Thomas Potts, and you know it, my friend.
Jeff said that Babylon 5 is as good as Strange New Worlds. Well, I mean, technically...
It's way better. It's way better.
So technically it's as good as... Because 5 is as much as 3, but more.
But more.
Like it goes past it, so I mean...
So on the scale, Thomas, of 1 to 10, I would put Strange New Worlds at about a -1,000,000, and Babylon 5 on maybe a +1 trillion.
Yeah. No techno mages yet. No techno mages.
No techno mages. So there were a few inconsistencies. I'm going to point a few out here.
Okay.
So we already talked about how they said Zathras just appeared in a flash in the conference room, and that we didn't see that in this episode. They just kind of found him working on the time stabilizer. Another inconsistency is Zathras in Babylon Squared tells Sinclair and Krantz that the One had stopped B4's motion through time to let the crew off. But that's not what happens here. It was an accident where Krantz had powered up told them to power up the fusion reactor, and it triggered the time equipment to catapult B4 into the future. And it was actually Ivanova's idea to have the power drop in the fusion reactor, so not the One's idea. So that's an inconsistency. In Babylon Squared, when we see the One in the corridor flashing in and out, we hear grunts of pain with a male voice. Here we hear female if you listen carefully.
And that's when Zathras runs up and gives the time device?
Yeah, the time stabilizer.
Wait, so they're trying to say that Dolores was the one time jumping at that point?
Yes. She took the suit off of Sheridan, put it on herself, took his damaged time stabilizer and gave him hers.
And then Zathras...
We didn't see it on screen, but we did see her go up to him, and then we shift scenes.
And then Zathras gave her a fixed time unit, a time stabilizer.
Yes.
Okay. I'll definitely have to rewatch that. I 100% missed that. 100% missed.
There was a lot going on, and you were trying to narrate what was happening. So, and we were talking. So, yeah, you missed a little bit there. And like I said, a lot going on. You have to really rewatch this. And I went actually back and watched Babylon Squared again yesterday.
Yeah. I should have done that, but I didn't.
It's really like a 3-parter almost, with some duplication between parts 1 and 3, or part 0 and part 2, if you want to call it that.
No, Thomas, I do remember her having the vision of seeing Sheridan sleeping, but that was just unprompted. She started to stand up from the tube connecting the White Star to Babylon 4, and everyone was starting to have those visions because things were getting a little crazy in time. And that it wasn't because their time thing was damaged at that point.
The other major inconsistency was Delen's clothing. The sleeve was different than what we saw in Babylon Squared.
Okay.
Can't forget
Minor.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Wardrobe
Apparently
pickup.
they didn't. Yeah, they apparently didn't have the clothing that they had in Babylon Squared to reuse in this episode.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely excusable. That's a minor. Honestly, it did such a good job tracking, like keeping everything synced up,
Yeah,
that I didn't even
well done.
think about the differences. I was so on board for, wow, they are doing fantastic with this. Positive was saying that she put on Sheridan's suit when he came back that one time and she only saw him. I do remember her seeing him. I just didn't make the connection that she took his suit. Like the way it was paced from how I was watching it is, she sees him come back, then he fades out, they meet up in the hallway. I thought it was Sheridan and Zathras meet up, and then he gets the device and wakes up without the suit and a different time device. So I thought that was the fixed time device that Zathras had given him. I didn't realize it was the lens like that. I didn't catch that at all.
Exactly, positive. That's why when Marcus finds Sheridan, he's not in the suit anymore.
Yeah, I thought that something had happened to him in the future. Yeah.
And one of the theories on why she took the suit also is because she felt that it would help protect her with the damaged stabilizer.
Okay.
So that's one of the theories about that anyway. And then you get all this revelation of the one.
Yeah.
The one that was Sinclair, the one that is the Dolores, and the one will be Sheridan. They're all the one, but they are the one.
Mm-hmm.
Sinclair is Phelan. Spoiler.
And yeah, I think it was interesting that, and this might be me reading a bit much into it, but I almost got the feeling that when Dolores used the device, it had stored Sheridan's human DNA in it and gave her that human DNA while taking away some of her Vorlon DNA. And then when Sinclair uses it, Mbari DNA. And then when Sheridan uses it, Sinclair uses it.
Yeah.
He gets the Mbari DNA from Dolores and deposits human DNA so that she can use it and get human DNA and leave behind Mbari DNA. And it's a circle, the closed circle.
I never thought of it that way. But he is fully Minbari, where she only is partially human.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And you have this concept of they're all the one. He becomes Minbari fully. She becomes a mixture of Minbari and human. And Sheridan, who is going to be the one, who will be the one, is fully human. So it's a progression.
Also interesting, the main reason that the Mbari believe that humans are carrying the souls of the Mbari people is because of the teachings of Valen.
Yes. The prophecy.
So
because he knew.
So do we have proof of that outside the prophecy? If
yes,
it's future
the
proof,
triluminary. Well, Go ahead.
I say if it's future proof, don't worry about it. But if it's something I'm forgetting, have we had proof for that?
Well, we do, because the triluminary, if you recall, is what Dolores used on Sinclair when they took him aboard the Minbari cruiser at the Battle of the Line. And it identified Valen's DNA. Or Valen, yeah.
But
in Sinclair. But he is Valen.
Yeah. So again, is that like... now, Omni is saying that Linear says the religious people have determined that the current souls are less special than previous generations.
And there are less Minbari being born, if I recall correctly, as well.
Yeah.
With each generation.
I wonder about that. No. I mean, I wonder about humans truly...
And they believe that the souls are being reincarnated in each generation. So if there are, in each generation. So if there are less Minbari in each next generation, where are they going? If they're not being born in new Minbari, well, they're going to humans.
Presumably. I wonder though. We'll have to wait and see. I think I'll have to go back and rewatch some of the key episodes where it talks about this. But I kind of feel like their big proof was that Sinclair had Valen DNA. But the only reason he has Valen DNA is because he was Valen.
He was Valen. Thomas, what are you asking? What are you asking Sinclair? What did he bring with him? The triluminary? The device that that transformed him into a Minbari? I'm not sure what you're asking.
It must have been in the letter for Dolores that he told her to bring it, and then he had it aboard.
The triluminaries originally came from Epsilon 3, the Great Machine.
Oh.
So presumably the machine that transformed also came from Epsilon 3. So I'm going to guess that Zathras brought it with him and his ship when he met up with the White Star in Part 1.
And I do remember that the Minbari were stagnating. I'm just thinking, it's kind of like when you base an entire dogma of the Christian belief on like the Book of Enoch, one of the Apocrypha books. Like, hey, you can't have that be a cornerstone since it's recognized as being apocryphal. Like you have to have like somewhere else in the Bible to talk about it. And so I'm kind of like, wait a minute. If the only proof, like they go, hey, we see that there's less Minbari being born. Where are they going? Oh, hey, here's this one human guy and he has, Valen DNA. That proves that they're going from Minbari to humans. It's like, ooh, but it doesn't. Maybe there's something else going on here. Maybe they're a dying race. I don't know yet. I got another half a season or half a series to go.
Pretty much. I'm not sure what you're getting at, Omni. He said that he thought the Great Machine was only 500 years old. Yes, it was. And he said, well, the religious caste determined the souls were migrating to humans. I guess Matthew is asking, how do they know that? Other than when they scan Sinclair with the triluminary. And that's just one person.
We'll have to see.
I'm accepting this. Season 5 isn't green lit yet. And that's a whole story in its own right.
Oh, really?
Which we'll get to. Yes, we'll get to. I think I've talked about it before, but Uh, we'll talk about it again in more detail at some point.
Okay. I'll have to wait until the movie. Okay.
It's a mystery, but it's not disputed amongst Grey Council. Okay.
At some point, this will come up, and everyone will say, "Here's the answer, Matt." And I'll be like, "The answer to what? What are you guys talking about? I never had this question." So thankfully, you guys are better than I am on remembering stuff.
For reference, in the beginning is a TNT-produced Babylon 5 movie that they made between seasons 4 and 5.
Okay. We'll have to watch it between seasons 4 and 5.
That's where I'm intending it to be played.
Oh yeah, it fills a lot of these holes. So on my prediction for this past 2 weeks, did I get much of anything right?
Well, you got some of it right. I mean, you got right that Sinclair was going to be central to the story. I'll give you that. The White Star was not damaged.
It was not even a little bit.
No. And the Shadow Spiders were not fought and defeated in a battle enough to stagnate the war, essentially, or it would go into the background.
And we didn't have the multiple timelines.
We didn't have Sheridan hopping around to different points in time. I mean, he did go forward 17 years, and he popped back to the present 2 years in the past. And was it 6 years in the past? He kind of jumped between those two. But
yeah. And we didn't see the other places he went. I mean, okay, so one of the times he came back to our present and then went back to 17 years in the future. And that's when Thastra said, "Hey, he's going to appear right there." And then he came back and we caught him. And then he bounced after that. He was in the core. And whenever it went from 6 years in the past into
2 years.
2 years, he went somewhere at that point. Did we see where he went?
I'm thinking he went back to 17 years into the future.
Did we get one more scene at that point?
I think so.
Okay.
Josh Street says first 2 times was 6 and then last time was 2 years ago. Hoot Owl says to the bench. He went to the bench.
Thomas, you're saying it's not looking good for me, but I got until season 5 for my prediction for the Techno Mages to work out.
So I want to comment on something Positive Candor said. He said season 4 was supposed to be the ending of B5, but then it got picked up for season 5. That's not going into too much detail. That's not quite accurate. The show was supposed to be 5 seasons in length. And then the network that they were on, PTEN, was going to close down. And they thought, well, that's going to be the end of the show at the end of season 4. But then it got picked up for its original intended season 5 by TNT. So it was supposed to go 5 years from the beginning.
So do we get a bit of a soft ending in season 4?
No, because they knew that it was being picked up before season 4 ended.
Oh, good.
They knew at the beginning of season 4, or they thought they knew that the show was going to end with season 4, but it turned out it didn't.
Excellent. Excuse me. Well, let's make some predictions for next week. Next week, we're going to be looking at season 3, episode 18. It is called Walkabout.
Walkabout.
So, if I just go straight off the title, someone is going to need to clear their head. Go for a little bit of a walkabout. We do know that Franklin has said he's resigning effective immediately, and he's been gone. And that was one of my predictions, that something would happen in the next, past 2 episodes to get him to stay, and that prediction was wrong. So maybe this is going to be focusing on Franklin dealing with the fact that he is dealing with the stem shots stuff. Paz is saying it sounds like an Australian episode. Well, then he'd go waltzing Matilda. He's just going for a bit of a walkabout. Is a walkabout also what you call when the cop does their patrol?
I think that's called a walk around. I might be mistaken about that. Joel says, spoiler, this is the Crocodile Dundee episode.
I need to watch that movie again. One of the interesting things we've seen, they've never gone that far back, but sometimes an episode will kind of go back just a little bit and say, hey, here's what everyone else was doing, and then quickly catch up to the end of the last episode. So I could see Walkabout. Okay, yeah, I'm going to lock in on this. Walkabout is going to be what Garibaldi is up to while all the Babylon 4 stuff is going on. And just him checking in on the different spots. He's going to need a cohort and all this. I was going to say maybe he's going to meet up with Londo and it'd be a fun Garibaldi and Londo episode. I don't think that's where we are right now. I don't think Londo, his current character, lends himself to that. Though he did get a bit of a moment in this episode where at the end of everything, he seems to have seen the error of his ways and he chose a sacrifice over letting the plans get revealed. But that's 17 years in the future. He ain't there right now.
True.
So I think this is just going to focus on Londo. Instead of having cohort, I think he's just going to kind of bounce into the different characters. We will see Londo. I think we'll also get to see him interacting with Jakar. It'd be fun if we got to see him interacting with Lanier and Veer as well. But I kind of imagine that maybe he kind of bounces back and forth between Jakar and Londo, and just as he does his walkabout the station, making sure everything's going well. So yeah, that's going to be my prediction. Oh.
So two notes. Oh.
Sorry, I just got an Amber Alert for a kid in Grapevine, Texas. That's my backyard, basically.
Oh dear.
Kaylin
Sorry to hear that.
Rickards, a 13-year-old black female, last seen wearing a black hoodie with a black tank top underneath, black sweatpants, and pink Crocs. That is not a great outfit to be wearing at nighttime and wanting to be seen.
No.
But hopefully she gets
I don't know.
picked up soon. Well, picked up by the police soon.
Oh, I just got the Amber Alert too.
Yeah. Yeah, usually these places are just so far away so far away from me. It's like, man, my heart goes out to them. I pray for them, but there's like 0% possibility that they're coming my way. But this is, I mean, Grapevine is not that far from me. It's how many grapevines are in Texas? I think just the one, the Dallas Fort Worth area.
For me, that's 4 hours away, give or take.
Yeah. And for me, that's more like 20, 30 minutes, I think. Well, I hope they find this kid soon. Yeah, Joel, that's why they can't find her, because she did get picked up. But someone in a white pickup, it said. Thomas, I have never heard of an Amber Alert at a sporting event. I'm guessing that's quite the sound echoing through the stadium.
Yeah, I would say so. So 2 notes about your prediction. Number one, Garibaldi did not appear in new footage in part 2.
Oh,
that was all archived from Babylon Squared.
Is this the first episode he's been totally absent from?
I'm not sure of that. He might have not been in one of the early second season episodes when he was comatose. I'm not sure about that. The second note, you mentioned maybe he meets up with Lanier. Well, Lanier's on the White Star in this episode.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
So he probably doesn't meet up with Lanier if your prediction is otherwise accurate.
Didn't I recently say they gave him a week off?
Oh, yeah, that's right, John. Yeah, there was an episode recently where he did not appear. Because he was recovering from the injury he suffered in the accident.
That's right.
While acting. Bill is still recovering from a stun injury from the boarding battle. Yeah.
Oh, Positive was wondering, do they literally have many grapevines? Not the city, but like the plant. Yes, at one time, Grapevine actually did have quite a fair amount of grapevines in it. However, Texas soil ain't the best for wine making. And I think that the last true vineyard we had got sold off, and there's now a pickleball court there, unfortunately. But it was real cool. I remember growing up and driving past this vineyard. It's a pretty decently sized vineyard, and they'd be growing grapes, and they did wedding venues and wine tasting, and it was decent. As I never had it, but I mean, I was told it was decent. Nothing amazing. But yeah, it closed down, and I don't think we really have that many more grapevine places.
So Jerry Doyle did not appear in Sick Transit Fear.
Okay.
I went back and looked it up.
Was that the first one?
Yeah, been in? I think I even mentioned it.
Wow, he goes for half a series, never missing a single episode. I think it's 2 back to back.
Pretty close, anyway.
I mean, and yeah, he did break his arm. So.
He did appear in archival footage in this episode, but I don't think they could have gotten his hairline right if they had re-filmed those scenes, because he has that receding hairline.
That would have been the biggest plot hole of all. We would say, what's happening? What's happening up here?
Right.
Well, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us this week, and for being here with my amazing 100% accurate predictions. Everything, I guess. If you missed the stream, don't worry about it. You don't need to watch it. You just need to go look at my prediction from last week. I was 100% right. Didn't get a single thing wrong. But thank you so much for being here, and we look forward to seeing you next week at our usual hour of scampering when we watch Season 3, Episode 18, Walkabout which, as John said, is just a slower version of the runabout.
Yes, that's right, John. Very good. Have a good week, everyone.
Take care. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to hit that like button and share it with your friends. If you haven't subscribed yet, I hope you will, and be sure to hit that bell icon to be notified of all the updates I do on this channel. If you want to support the work I'm doing here, then I hope you'll consider becoming one of my Patreons, where you'll get early access to all kinds of videos. And until the next time, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May he cause his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Amen.